Hello, once again, my fellow Americans and my fellow humans of the world. In my life, it is another stormy and gloomy day. I know I have spoken of the coal miners in West Virginia lost at the Upper Big Branch mine on April 5th, 2010. I would like to say once again my sympathies go out to their family, and my anger goes to CEO of Massey Energy, Don Blankenship. Don needs to be held accountable for what he is doing. He has done this many times before. He has disregarded safety violations in order for production. I know the people of the area cannot speak up against this man because he owns and regulates everything their area has to offer. And which, to me, this is a monopoly, and by law in the United States, these monopolies should not exist. They cannot exist. They're not allowed to exist legally, and yet we still somehow allow this. So this is actually going to be a pretty brief episode. I'm going to take the time just to read a letter that I wrote to the families of the victims in West Virginia. And after that, I'm going to take a moment to play a song by Craig Banco. I hope I'm saying that name right. He wrote this beautiful song, "Angels Love Coal Miners," and I'm going to send that out to. I know he's probably dedicated that in some sort to this family and this tragedy, but I'm going to play that song at the end of my segment here for their tribute to their memories. But let me begin by reading what I have written to their families, and like always, I will do that in my unbiased form. To those in mourning, I write this letter out of compassion to those in grievance. Directly speaking, my sorrows go to those who lost a father, a child, an uncle, a husband, or a friend in the mining accident at the Upper Big Branch coal mine. This is one tragedy that will shake communities around the mining industry, but that is not all it should be. This incident brings tears worldwide. These were the best of people taken because production became more important than safety at Massey Energy Company. I am a 22-year-old student from a small town in central Wisconsin. I've spent much time working for large construction companies and a foundry that is responsible for providing the majority of the jobs to our community. Specifically, our foundry sold out to foreign buyers, leading to many hardworking people to lose their jobs, ultimately tearing apart our community. This occurred because the original owners, the ones who cared for the health and benefit of their employees, became greedy. Why should any of this matter in regards to the tragedy in West Virginia? Simply because I have dealt firsthand with being shafted by an employer and a corporation. But being young and somewhat curious, I knew there had to be other possibilities in my future. My employer forced production upon his employees over safety. Therefore, I injured myself. But just as soon as I spoke up, they threatened, saying, "If you can't keep up with production, you may not have a job to return to." That was because they did allow 2 weeks in the warehouse for recuperation after this injury. But after the 2 weeks, I decided that it would be in my best interest to leave my job due to multiple harassments to return to work and their disregard to the employee's safety. When leaving for work, your family should not feel as if this is the last time they will see you. Most of all, work should be a place of safety and employee morale. Production should never become an issue unless the job is not being done. My father and I have spent multiple times in the Appalachian area. The generosity and the moral values of the people drives us to return. We are not so different. I believe in lending a helping hand whenever possible, as do the wonderful people of the Appalachia region. The reason for this letter is my concern upon Macy Energy's company's safety policies. If they are at all like the corporations I have worked for in the past, I know they cut corners whenever possible. This has nothing to do with the workers. It is pushed on them from a higher power. Fearful of losing a job, most employees cannot speak of their concerns. I would like to discuss in a confidential agreement with those who would like to say something. Being ambitious and big-hearted, I would fall to my knees and beg to listen to the truth. Living in a land of the free, every individual, regardless social class, has the right to their opinion. I want to do a documentary on Macy Energy Company, so every hard-working miner can be heard. In fear of losing jobs, I would never release the names of any individuals that would take the time to speak with me. I am strictly doing this because I believe in the rights of employees. Without having someone to speak up, problems become covered up. I want to be the voice of the hearts of the families who fell victim to this horrid disaster, expressing the truth so incidents like those at Upper Big Branch never happen again. Once again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families and victims of this terrible catastrophe. I appreciate you taking the time to read this letter and hope I can be of assistance to those who need help telling the story. That is the meaning to my entire reason for doing this, is I want the truth to be heard. The truth needs to be told in every situation. And as I send this off, I would like to have this song, Angels Love Coal Mines, by Craig Montcoal, to be sent off as a tribute to these wonderful, kind-hearted people who have lost their lives to a cause that is unjust in our society. Safety should be our number one issue for our people. So please, take the time to listen to this song as it plays.
We used to live where the slow creek would wind on its way through them woods to the Chippewa mine, where 20 young men went down into the devil's soul. But angels love coal mines, that's what we were told. But angels love coal mines, so that's how it goes. Never quite the same after he died. Well, now I'll share his name with his darker side. And when all our possessions traded and sold, angels love coal mines, that's what I was told. Angels love coal mines, so that's where they go.
God bless everybody out there, and those who have lost lives in the horrible mining accident of the Upper Big Branch in Western Virginia, Montcoal, West Virginia. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of you.